In the biblical account of Luke 2:41-52, we delve into a deeply significant passage that sheds light on the childhood of Jesus, his relationship with Jewish law, and his understanding of his own divine mission. This episode, known as Jesus at the Temple at 12 years old, not only provides a unique insight into the life of the Savior in his youth, but also allows us to reflect on the importance of spiritual development from an early age. Placing ourselves in the historical and cultural context of the narrative, we are transported to Jerusalem during the time of the Jewish Passover. This period was of great significance for the Jewish people, as they commemorated the liberation of Israel from slavery in Egypt, and renewed their connection with God and their spiritual heritage. For Joseph, Mary, and Jesus, participating in this festival was not just a religious duty, but also an opportunity to immerse themselves in the rich spiritual tradition of their people and strengthen their bond with God and their community. The experience of Passover in Jerusalem was unique, as the city filled with pilgrims who came to fulfill the rituals prescribed by the law of Moses, and to celebrate their shared faith in unity. Temples and synagogues resonated with worship and the teaching of the law, and the streets were lively with chants and prayers. Amidst this vibrant atmosphere, Jesus, with his inquisitive mind and thirst for spiritual knowledge, was drawn to the temple, the epicenter of the religious and educational life of the Jewish community. During the celebration of Passover, while the crowd of pilgrims began their journey home, Joseph, Mary, and Jesus also started their return journey. However, at some point along the way, Mary and Joseph realized that Jesus was missing. Filled with distress and concern, they hurried back to Jerusalem in search of their son. Finally, they found him in the temple, engaging in a theological discussion with the teachers, demonstrating an understanding and wisdom beyond his years. When Mary, the mother of Jesus, confronted him about his absence, he responded with words that revealed his mission and his special relationship with God. "Why were you looking for me? Did you not know that I must be in my Father's house?" Luke 2:49. These words, although puzzling to his earthly parents at that moment, reflected Jesus' awareness of his divine identity and his calling to fulfill God's plan of salvation for humanity. Jesus was conscious that his true Father was God and that his life was dedicated to fulfilling the divine will. The encounter between Mary, Joseph, and Jesus in the temple was revealing. When confronted by his parents about his absence, Jesus responded with words that revealed his awareness of his divine identity and his calling to fulfill God's will. This interaction marked a crucial moment in Jesus' life, where he began to fully understand his mission as the promised Savior and the Son of God. The reaction of Mary and Joseph to Jesus' words was a mix of surprise, confusion, and amazement. Although they did not fully understand the meaning behind their son's words at that time, they recognized the uniqueness and greatness of Jesus. This episode served as a catalyst for Jesus' public ministry, heralding his role as the Redeemer of humanity and the bearer of divine truth. Reflecting on this passage, we are invited to consider the nature of faith, divine purpose, and the transformative power of God's love in our lives. The story of Jesus in the temple reminds us that even from an early age, he was aware of his divine mission and dedicated to fulfilling God's plan of salvation for humanity. His wisdom, love, and compassion continue to be a source of inspiration and hope for all of us, reminding us that he is the way, the truth, and the life, and that in him we find the fullness of divine grace and truth. This account from Luke offers us a unique window into the childhood of Jesus and his spiritual development. In addition to this passage, there are other accounts that provide additional information about Jesus' early life and his relationship with his family and community. For example, in the Apocryphal Gospels, we find stories of miracles performed by Jesus as a child, such as bringing clay birds to life or healing his sick brother. These stories, although not part of the biblical canon, shed light on the popular understanding of Jesus as a child prodigy from an early age. Additionally, Jewish tradition offers an interesting perspective on Jesus' childhood. According to Jewish legend, Jesus studied in a yeshiva, a Jewish school, under the tutelage of prominent rabbis, where he learned the scriptures and the teachings of Jewish law. This tradition suggests that Jesus was an exceptionally talented student, and that his knowledge of the scriptures and his understanding of the law were profound from an early age. The account of Jesus in the temple at 12 years old also invites us to reflect on the importance of religious education and spiritual instruction in the lives of children. Jesus, as the supreme model of faith and devotion, shows us the importance of cultivating a personal relationship with God from an early age, and committing to the study of the scriptures and understanding the principles of our faith. Additionally, this passage challenges us to consider our own relationship with God, and how we are nurturing our spiritual growth and personal development. Like Jesus, we must actively seek wisdom and spiritual understanding, participate in the teaching and study of the scriptures, and commit to a life of devotion and service to God and others. In summary, the account of Jesus in the temple at 12 years is much more than a simple anecdote about Jesus' childhood. It is a powerful reminder of the importance of cultivating a personal relationship with God, committing to the study and understanding of the scriptures, and living a life of faith, love, and service. Additionally, this passage shows how Jesus, even at a young age, was willing to challenge the expectations and norms of his society to follow his divine calling. Despite his youth, Jesus demonstrated a maturity and wisdom that surprised all who knew him. His knowledge of the scriptures and his ability to interpret them in a profound and insightful manner were evident to all who listened to him. This episode also offers a glimpse into the relationship between Jesus and his earthly parents, Mary and Joseph. Although they were puzzled by their son's actions, they also recognized that there was something special about him. They kept these things in their hearts, reflecting on them and trying to understand what they meant. Finally, this passage challenges us to reflect on our own relationship with God. It invites us to ask ourselves how we are responding to God's call on our lives, and how we are seeking to understand and live out God's will. Like Jesus, we are called to grow in wisdom and in grace before God and men. May this passage inspire us to follow Jesus' example as we seek to grow spiritually and live according to the principles of love and compassion that he taught. And so we reach the end of this presentation. Thank you for being part of our channel, a space where we seek to share divine wisdom and reflections on faith. I send you a warm greeting and a strong hug. Until next time, and may God bless you.